Hey, wonderful people, you're welcome to another session. It's a wonderful time and speaking with you. This is Lawyers Info Hub. I always enjoy creating content and I'm passionate about this. And I do hope that you also learn from this video today. So we are going to look at a very vital point, a very vital issue that will help you become a better practitioner. Lawyers Info Hub was born out of passion to reach out to people to become excellent in whatever they do, to become an excellent practitioner, um, you know, to be the best wherever you are. If you're a returning subscriber, I appreciate you. If you're new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button. Yes, hit the subscribe button. Share this video to your friends. Click on the like button. You know, support us the way you've always been. So if you're a returning subscriber, I thank you for always watching this channel and always stopping by to see what is new. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. So today we're going to discuss how to become a great negotiator, how to master negotiation skills as a lawyer. As a lawyer, you're already a negotiator, whether you like it or not. But for you to, master the art of negotiation, a lot of things are involved. And if you fail to know these skills or to master these skills, you end up having a poor negotiation at the end of the day, and your client will be the one to lose. So, uh, join me. Let's head towards this journey, and I know that you enjoy it. So sit back and relax as we have a sweet time together. So now, we heard about negotiation, talk about arbitration, conciliation, mediation. These are different areas. They are vast areas. So sometimes in court you see a judge will refer a matter to the multi-door courthouse, or the court will say, I feel parties can still resolve this issue. So go and talk. And it is encouraged that parties seek out of court settlement, because there are some issues you see that when it's something they can resolve without even really coming to court to waste precious judicial time. So when that thing happens, when the court sends parties to go and settle, now the work is on the parties and also the counsel. And as a counsel involved, you have to do all that is within your power to see that both parties, come together and agree to resolve their dispute. Now, there are tactics to be involved, to be used in negotiation. There are negotiation styles. You need to prepare for negotiation. Yes, that you're a lawyer makes you a negotiator well, but there are skills you need to have so that in carrying out your work, it will be so easy for you. Now, the scope of your negotiation is very wide. Yes, the scope is very wide. But note that you can't negotiate on a criminal matter. No, that's the limitation. You can't negotiate because it is between the accused and the state. Yes. But there have been instances where people try to resolve this issue at the police station, and also seen in some magistrate court where people can now say, okay, I'm withdrawing, I want to withdraw the charge, I want to withdraw the case, or I want to withdraw this matter against this person. No, that one is a different ball game altogether. Now, you have to prepare for this negotiation. It's not something you just wake up, we are going to negotiate. You must prepare very well. You must utilize the strategies, the tactics, the styles, and you must understand the stage of negotiation. There are stages, and when you jump from one to three, you miss it. There are stages. So you have to go through these stages so that you have a fruitful deliberation. Now, in preparing for negotiation, you have to first of all know the facts of the case. What is this case all about? What is the issue? You need to really research on it. Research on it. What is involved? What is the law saying on this? issue of debt recovery, land issue. The cases are much different things you can negotiate on. So you need to research on it. What is the law? What is the law with respect to this? What are the rules saying? Well, you need to be updated with the facts and what the law says about those. Because by the time you put the facts together, you know that this case comes under this particular heading of law or this area of law. So you research that particular topic, you research it, you just support it. If you have cases, just look at it and say, okay, what how have the courts been able to resolve this issue? It helps you when you're negotiating, to be well armed with knowledge. Now, you must note your objective. Your objective is very important. What do you want to achieve? Is it you know, to for parties to settle? Is it for to settle some issue areas and these ones we cannot settle? Let's go back to court. What's been the objective? You have to understand the objective of the negotiation. Is it to agree on some points and then the other ones we can go back to the court for the court to make orders for this particular one? So you need to really understand the objective of your client and the objective of negotiation. So I said you have to research on the law on the negotiation. Yes, peradventure someone issued you a dot check and and defrauded you and all of that. What is the law saying about it? What is the recent law on it? Maybe so issue of debt in you, a lot of things, conversion and the likes. You need to understand what the law is, so it helps you to negotiate well. Now, there's always the best alternative to a negotiated agreement and the worst alternative. You have to know that what are my alternatives? What is the best alternative I have with respect to this negotiation? What is the worst alternative I have with respect to this negotiation? You need to consider the outcome. That in this at this point, you need to have a holistic consideration of the various options you have. What are my worst options? What are the best options that I have? You know, in negotiating, just like I earlier said, you have to put in the best style, the tactics, so that you get your objective right. You need to know the opponent, you need to know the defendant, you need to know the other party, you need to know very well. Know that in negotiation, parties can handle negotiation themselves, but as counsel that is involved, you're there to guide them into negotiating well. So you need to know what is the story of the other party, what is the strength, what are they capitalizing on, what are their weaknesses. This helps you to strategize very well. It helps you to put up your tactics well and to achieve your goal. Um, Sometimes it's they always say it's good you know half of the story in the negotiation so that you hear the other part of your opponent. But for me, I feel know the whole gist, at least from your own end. So by the time you get to negotiation, but you might hear new stories from the other counsel of or the other party of how this happened, and that helps you put your facts together to really know how to approach it. Now, what are the strategies? What are the strategies you need to use in negotiation? You know, first of all, you have to tell yourself, I have to achieve, you know, my objective, which you must have noted. But the first thing you need to do is, aside knowing the facts of the case or the facts of the issue, what is my objective? What do I want to achieve? Now we have the competitive strategy. It's also called the positional or distributive strategy, bargaining strategy. The competitive strategy is also known as the positional or distributive bargaining strategy. This one is a win-lose strategy. Someone wins and the other one loses. Now, when the issues between the parties are purely financial, there's no need for amicable. You're just owing me, just pay me. You know, you know, this strategy is usually used. Where there's um, there's no need for amicable settlement, like pay me and I go. That's what you owe me. You're owing me so amount of money. I paid you money to get me a car. You couldn't get me. I just give you back my money. This there's no amicable and you just pay me and I leave. You know, this strategy works, but that's the competitive strategy. Is a win-lose strategy. The two people are not winning. One person wins and the other person loses. You know, so it's a win-lose strategy. That's a competitive strategy. Now, the second strategy we have is a problem-solving strategy. It's called the cooperative or integrative bargaining strategy. This is a win-win strategy. I win, you win. At the end of the day, there is a compromise. Both parties shift ground to get to the center. I'm not losing, you're not losing, both parties are winning, and everybody's happy. Remember the first one I said is the competitive strategy. The competitive strategy, one person wins and the other person loses. That's the win-lose strategy. But for the problem-solving strategy, the win-win. Yeah, the win-win. There's a compromise, we get to the middle, and everybody is happy. You know. Now, the problem-solving strategy, is based on some rules. And it's four of them, the four rules. Now, first of all, as a negotiator, you must separate people from the problem. What is the problem? People, when you put the people and the problem together, there's a challenge. Separate the problem from the people. This is you. Yes, what is the problem? This is the problem. So that it helps reduce the attack on personality. We're looking at the problem. We want to solve the problem. You know, focus on the interest. What is the interest? Focus on what you want to achieve. What is the interest? Focus on it. You want to get this done, and I getting it. Not the position, not who the person is, the person's rank, not you know who I am. No, 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 no. You're focusing on the interest. So as a negotiator who wants to master the act of the negotiation skills, you have to be very observant in applying these rules. As much as the problems you want to utilize the problem solving strategy, you must separate people from the problem. You must focus on interest and not position. Now, you have to be innovative. You have to invent options for mutual gains. What can I do? What can I bring to the table that will make everybody feel we're getting something, I'm getting something, the person will like, okay, before I can agree, at least I know that this is coming from me. And the person that said, okay, I agree because I know that I'm getting it at this point, you know. So that way it helps them try to come together. Everybody's shifting, everybody's adjusting just for a common goal because they feel something is in it for me, something is in it for me. So you have to be innovative. A great negotiator is innovative. You have to invent what can I do? What are the things I have to bring to the table? How am I going to talk to them to say, see, you are getting this money or you're getting this. Why this person is getting this? You've got 2/3 and he's got 2/3. So we are coming close. You know, always is just like I told you when I started, have an objective. You have to use your objective. You have to, focus on your objective. What's the objective criteria? Focus on it. Focus on it. You know, the strategy to use really is not like so rigid. Depending on the situation you find yourself as a negotiator, you can choose to use a competitive strategy. You can choose to use the problem-solving strategy. Because but for me, you also understand that the problem-solving strategy is a bit fair. It's better. At the end of the day, both parties are happy. It's a win-win thing. Uh, you know, and parties go home happy because they feel I've got to deal here. This person feels I've got to deal here. But the problem-solving strategy has a little fallback. Just that it doesn't take into account the negotiating power of the parties. Yeah, that's one of the fallouts of the problem solving strategy that it doesn't take into account these different the differences in the negotiating power of parties. But the competitive strategy, you see the difference in negotiating power of parties because at the end of the day, the win lose situation. One person is winning and the other person is losing. Now let's get to negotiation styles. What are those styles how to put in to ensure that your negotiation is fruitful? Now your style is affected by your personality, who you are. Your personality affects your style. Your experience to your exposure, your level of exposure determines the style you're going to use. Yes. Your background too, as a lawyer, your background as a person too, affects the style you're going to use. But whichever way, you have different styles you can use as a negotiator. We have the soft style. Yeah, the soft style. You know, uh, this style is we call it soft style because the negotiator is eager to reach a settlement. Yes, he wants the issue to be resolved. He's doing all he can to see that you have to accept, you have to bend, compromise, shift, not big deal. There's no harm in shifting, shift more, so let's get to it. The negotiator is eager to settle. He's using the soft style. You have the hard style. When you're using the hard style, there's always tendency that a deadlock will be reached. Yeah, both parties are hard. Just everybody doesn't want to shit ground. You're hard on everything. Uh, this is our right. We have to get it. We are not conceding. It's about this. It's about that. There's definitely going to be a deadlock. At the end of the day, the negotiation might not be able to achieve its objective. Now we have the firm style. Your firm as a negotiator. The firm style here, as a negotiator, you're pursuing your interest. You want to achieve your objective with greater zeal. As much as you're pursuing your interest, bringing parties to settle too is your interest too. You're firm, you're pursuing your interest with zeal, but at the end of the day, you're bringing the parties together to, settle. So it's good that a negotiator is not too soft. You're just in a class to say, just settle, accept, don't settle, I'm telling you, just for this stuff is too much. You know, it's also not good for a negotiator to be so hard. Yeah, not good. It's good that a negotiator be firm in your decisions, be firm in your propositions, be firm in your innovative options, so that you enable with parties settle and settle well. So, at the end of the day, um, the right thing is done, justice is achieved. Now, um, there are several tactics you can use as a negotiator. The understanding of these tactics helps you to sail smoothly while negotiating. Yes. First of all, um, you have to control your agenda. You have to have your agenda. What do I want to achieve today? For every day you come for the negotiation, there should be an agenda. Now, you have to be in control of the agenda. So apart from being in control, during the any other business, which is the AOB, this is where negotiators, smuggling, you know, vital issues during the AOB, the smuggling vital issues, and sometimes the major issues are smuggled in or are brought up during the AOB. That's what part the other ones have been settled. During any other business, you bring it up. So these are one of the tactics negotiators use to, when the tensions are quite low, but okay, any other thing, now bring up the issue. These are some of the tactics you can use. Now, the use of deadlines. The use of deadline is a very good practice. You know, trying to put timeline for every issue. You're supposed to make maybe first installment, give a deadline. But putting a deadline is a tactic. Like if you fail on this, you know that you're not serious with this negotiation and you're going to reach a deadline. So putting up deadlines is one of the tactics you can use as a negotiator to drive home your point, to get what you want, to have a successful negotiation. Um, Now, the strength of numbers. Um, Attend the meetings with more people. Yeah, there's strength in number. Attend the meeting with more people. Attend the meeting with more people. There is strength in number. So when you go with more participants, like this thing, like, I will say, it, are we okay? It's a tactic. It works. Go with to the meeting with a lot of people, two or three participants. You know. Now, another tactic can use threat. If you don't get the first installment by so time, no more negotiation. And if they fail, you carry out a threat, which is no more negotiating because you couldn't live up to the expectation. You failed in the first payment of first installment. But I'm just using this as an example. So the use of threat works sometimes. Yeah, it works. So most people use it. If you don't do this, we are going to do this. I carry out a threat, but I carry out a threat that this person is very serious. So this is one of the tactics you can also use to, excel as a good negotiator. Another tactics I laugh, but it works for some people. Another tactics other people or some negotiators use is we call it manipulation. They manipulate in the sense that, for example, they always maybe fix the venue of meeting in a place that is not convenient to the opponent. And even like every time we are going to so place for the meeting, beg, settle, I'm tired, I can't be going there. Oh, let's just settle this issue. By stressing the opponent, there's this thing of let's just get done with this. I'm tired. Let's just get done with this. So it's a kind of a contextual manipulation. I'm just using that for example, like you putting the meeting where it's so difficult for the opponent to access. These are the tactics, we're just discussing. So these are so even when you're negotiating, when you two is faced with another person, mastering these skills helps you. So when that person is using it, say, I know where you're going to, I know the tactics you're using. So you have to know it. Another thing is that your opponent must know that you have authority to take some certain decision. And also, for example, aside that, also let them also know that there are some decisions you cannot take. There are some you can take. There are some you cannot take. For example, maybe on the course of the issue, they're going to, okay, no, I have to get back to my boss, or I have to get back to my superior, I have to get back to whoever before I get back. That way, the other opposing party will know that you're not just this person is reproached to someone. So we have to, we cannot push him to just say yes or no or accept. So that one too helps the practice that it works. He will always call his boss. I know him, he will not just accept. He will always call his boss. Now, this practice I'm going to talk about now, a lot of people use it and it works. Some people call it emotional blackmail. Some people call it uh, psychological uh, tantrums. Some people call it emotional manipulation or whatever you want to call it. But let me explain it. You see, flatter your opponent. Yes, flatter your opponent. Ah, the man, you're the bad girl, you're the lady, my lady. Flatter them. That should be humor. You should have a sense of humor. It dulls tension. It helps you to achieve what you want to achieve. You know, get into your opponent, smile with your opponent, that you should have a sense of humor. Don't be too rigid. You're not gonna die. Don't be too rigid. It helps to diffuse a lot of tension and all of that. You know, appeal to the person morally. But flattery works. Flatter. Let your opponent leave the meeting smiling, happy, like, oh my god. You know, put in all those you know, jokes here and there, to make the whole atmosphere calm. Everybody's laughing, and at the end of the day, you're still achieving the result. You know, another tactic most negotiators use, and it also works, is behavior strategy. It's a tactic where they pretend to be angry, like, no, I'm not accepting, or they're just maybe, if you're not ready to talk, if you're not agreeing, I would leave and walk out. I'm not in for whatever you want to say. This is what I want. And I have given you 3 months to pay, or 1 year you didn't pay. My money has to be paid in 2 months. If you're not accepting, I'm leaving this meeting. So people stage work out to make things work. Or they are angry, or they feel like I'm not even interested in what they are. They just feel so disinterested or bored. It's a strategy, it's a tactic. It's a tactic. When this happens, know that these people are putting up the behavioral tactics for me. They need to know this because that's what most negotiators use to get what they want. Now, another very important tactic you can use as a negotiator is always accept that the issues we discuss in piecemeal. Don't lump up issues together. Discuss it one after the other. Break it down. Break it down. On this issue, you discuss it. On this issue, that way you get an advantage. Don't allow things to be muddled up. No, 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 no. Break it down piece by piece, handle the situation, you know, especially when there are the complex case or there are a lot of issues to be handled. Don't model it up, break it there. Another beautiful tactics that what is, we call it pride. Tactics, pride tactics, or let's say when you call it bluff, like, if you don't do it, I have a better offer. You're not willing to buy for 17 million. I have someone who can offer 25, and I'm going to sell to that person. Boast, yes. These are strategies and it works. Over time, you see that it works. It works. So when you're on the other side and someone is there, I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. So suppose that there are better offers. Let the person know that it doesn't end with you. I can get it over there. So it works. It works. So you know, calling the blog, or telling the person that I have better options works. You know, Now, another practice people use, or most negotiators use, and it works, is when after you have agreed, you now ask for concession. You brought us to negotiate. I've done this for you. I've considered here. So what am I getting? When they ask for concessions after agreement has been reached, it's a tactic. That way they're getting something extra. So you too can use that to get something extra. After the agreement has been reached, you ask for concession. So what are you considering? I always travel to come for this meeting. I always do this as considered. So what am I getting? So use this practice very well. I've tried to explain them and I hope you understood them. Use it very well and it's always amazing. The result is always top notch. You always achieve your objective. Now there are stages in negotiation. Yeah. We have the opening stage. It's at the opening stage. You identify what are the issues, what are the facts. Now, what are the objectives of the party? What do they want to achieve? What does the client want to achieve? What does the opponent want to achieve? This is very key. So don't jump the stages. You have to understand what the case is all about, the issues are all about, what I object, what do you want to achieve? What does that party want to achieve? In doing so, you're narrowing down the issues. Now we now enter the bargaining stage. This is a point where everybody brings out their offer and bargain like that the offer be accepted. You know, at this point, parties can even do it themselves. But you have to be ethical in doing this. This is my offer, and I believe you can accept it. This is the reason why I believe you can accept it. This is a good offer. Why not take it? While the other party say, okay, my offer too is good. So this is the point of negotiation. Both parties are negotiating so as to reach the middle point. You know, we have the closing stage where issues have been streamlined and agreements reached. So parties are like, okay, um, this is what we've been able to agree, and with the agreement to reduce the writing, you know, and then now get to the execution stage where parties now sign the agreement. If you need to go back to court, it will now be adopted as by the parties to become a consent judgment. It will now be entered as a consent judgment. And sometimes agreement might say, okay, after the execution, I start payment, depending on what it is all about. And it's after the execution of the agreement that I start paying the money, or some people will say, okay, after the adoption, or you pay the first certain installment after we adopt in court, you finish the payment. Just depending on the agreement, you know. So that's it. Um, Now, just like an aside, where you're negotiating and there's a deadlock, what can you do as a negotiator who has mastered the skills of negotiating, of negotiation? You're immersed through in negotiation. There are ways you can approach where there's a deadlock. A deadlock is where parties like, see, it can't work. I'm working out. It can't work. Let's get back to court. I can agree with you. You know, they're not ready to move forward with the negotiation. You know, what you can do is that take a break. Yes, take a break on that particular issue that's causing the deadlock. Proceed with other issues. Start discussing the other issues. See if you can resolve them. Take a break on the one that is causing the deadlock. Another thing too you can do is just take a break on the negotiation. Let everybody just relax. Everybody go, just go, stay back. Give it some time before you can, come back again to see if you can make progress. Another thing you can also consider when there's a deadlock is for you to ask the why questions. What is causing this? Why are parties in this fix? Provide creative solutions. As a negotiator, you have to be innovative. You have to be innovative. Yes. So provide creative solutions. Think, what can I do? What can I do at this instant? What can I say to this person to make the person have a change of mind? How can I position our offer? How can I re-strategize? So these are things you need to do. Now, also re-emphasize to the other party the concessions you've already made. You've been able to shift ground. You've been able to concede. You have done this and appeal to their mind. Look at the concessions you have given. Have you not done enough? Done enough for you. We've considered, we've compromised, we've shifted ground. You need to do the same for us. You know, tell them about the concessions you've made so far. And, you know, put pressure on the other party. You can walk out. After you walk out, walk out like I'm done. I'm doing it. I'm done. You know, um, this might help the other party to concede and to have a change of mind to consider what you are saying. But if you this person walks out, we're going to lose everything. So, friends, negotiation is part and parcel of the lawyering skills. Yes, that you're a lawyer, you're already a negotiator, but you need to upgrade. You need to know the tactics. You need to use the skills, to function effectively. This is Lawyers Info Hub, and this is a girl. Merci. You're welcome. Please share this video to your friends. Negotiation skill is key. If you need to take courses on negotiation, there are a lot of courses you need to take can also become a certified negotiator. You know, you can also become a certified mediator, a certified arbitrator, a certified conciliator, whichever you want to do. As even the word is being ravaged with COVID-19, and there's a lot of things happening. You know that we're going virtual. You can even mediate over cases outside jurisdiction, outside the country. You know, it can become certified outside Nigeria, other countries. You know, there are a lot of courses you can do, and you can even be part of a court of arbitration of different states and different countries. And this is another side of another area of law that is also very profitable, and you can do that in the comfort of your office. As I'm talking to you, you can be in a can negotiate. People, when you are known to be good, people can call you. There can be referrals. You can even go to the multi-door courthouse in your jurisdiction and check how you can become an arbitrator. So join them in what they do. When they have cases, they refer to you. You are the mediator, you're the negotiator, depending. There are different areas in this thing. So, but you need to have the skill, and sometimes you need to have, depending on if you want to join an association, you need to have their certificate, you need to pass the exams and all of that. But even without doing that, as a lawyer, you have to be involved in negotiation, because sometimes the court forces it on down your throat. Counsel, this thing can be said, so this people should down. So this is now when you utilize these strategies, utilize this skills, these tactics, to get really what you want. So, friends, I appreciate you. Keep watching Lawyers Info Hub. This is Girl Mercy. See you. If you've not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you.